Yo, what's good, family? It's your boy, your player partner. I'm back in the building. Here to chop it up with y'all real quick about some Atlanta Hawks tonight. There's my son. Say what's up.
What's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
Here to talk some Hawks, man. I seen a lot of people, in the post game live last night. In the post game live last night, a lot of people, well, not a lot, but there's a couple people upset with Coach Nate. It's a lot of people upset with Coach Nate. They upset with his rotations. They upset with the way that I guess how he brings along the young talent. Um, a lot of people, some people who want Nate fired right now. I'm not one of them. I'm actually a Nate McMillan supporter. I don't understand why we would get rid of a coach. Who's been our head coach for what, a season and a half, and he's above 500 and has led us to the Eastern Conference Finals. Shout out to the chat, everybody's in the chat tapping in with me. I see you, Jim. Okay, that's cool, bro. I'll drop the link, man. Come and go as you need to. So this is a fan channel, you feel me? What's good, Al 3? You feel me? What's good, baby? um it's some people who they just not fans of Nate McMillan, whether it's his coaching style, the way he developed players. Am I one of them? No, I'm not. Let me bring on my guy, Ticket Gerald. Y'all know him. He's up here all the time. Okay. I got you up here. Okay. Hold up. Gerald froze up on me. Um, but I'll tell you this, man. I'm a Nate McMillan supporter as of now. Um, I mean, it's hard to judge. I mean, I know a lot of people are upset, with the way the regular season went, with the way that game one of the playoffs went last night. People highly upset. But I think a lot of fans are not really, really, really digging into, this how this season went. Um, people want to see Jalen Johnson. People want to see Sharif Cooper. I don't know who else they want to see. People want complaining about his rotations. Both have complained about certain things he does. Sometimes he's gotten this routine to where he just takes players out according, I guess, to their minutes or whatever. But he's known to take players out when they cooking, and take them out and replace them with a player that's not as hot, not doing as well. We know that he's done that on numerous occasions. Um, it happens, man. I mean, there's no way you're gonna find a coach to where you just completely satisfied with everything that he does. Let me bring my guy on. GM is in the building. GM will give us a couple minutes of his time. Very important, man. Right, very important. Talk to me. Okay, go ahead, Jim. But like I was saying,
No, so you can see me.
oh, okay,
Okay.
okay, yeah, I can see you, man. First of all, what's good, man? Look like you just
Not
getting
that
off
I,
the
not that
job
I'm the
today,
best
baby.
looking guy. Not that I'm the best looking guy in the world, but maybe I should have left myself in the dark. But no, I'm doing pretty good. Just going through a little something, trying to get some programs done, and you know, um, you know, making a career change and all that stuff. Or just hustling.
I feel you,
Legal hustle.
man.
So I
I
have to
feel
be
you.
in and out.
I
But
can dig it, man.
man, you got a good
I can
topic
dig it.
today.
Yeah,
You
man.
got
Let
a
me introduce Matt real quick. What's good with you, Matt? How you feeling today, my guy?
Good. What's going on, y'all?
not
And I
much,
know
man.
Gerald gonna be up here in a minute. He was up here, but his stuff froze. So let's go ahead and dive straight into it, shall we, family? I
Yeah.
said at the beginning of it, I stated that I am, as of now, as of right now, I am a Coach Nate supporter.
Yeah,
Um,
I heard that.
Now, yeah, if y'all see me up here, I don't agree with everything he does. I've had my complaints about him, especially pulling players out when they hot, sticking to certain minutes rotations. Obviously we already know we don't really run, any type of real offense. We have no movement on the offensive side. We know all this already. Um, but I mean, right now I still support Nate McMillan. I mean, granted, he has some flaws, but a lot of coaches have flaws. and I think this is just he's been our coach officially for what, let's say a season and a half, and I think that's I don't think that's a lot of time to really work with. I mean, let me change that, to really analyze them. You know what I'm saying? Let's start with GM. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on Nate, man?
I appreciate you, man. How's everybody doing out there? All the people out there watching. Hey, this is tight. This is the best Hawk show out, in my opinion. So y'all like the channel. Show my brother some love. But yeah.
Appreciate that, my guy.
Oh yeah, man. I'm gonna support the Atlanta, man. Hey, people about to Atlanta. But yeah, that's why I'm so passionate. I want him to be successful. I would, if I was the GM last year, he had no choice but to sign him. And I was like, he got to sign Nate, and I was just kind of like, I felt like I was blinded. I normally don't do that. I normally observe and look, but I jumped the gun. And I'm not gonna say jump the gun. Let me be fair. I want him to prove me wrong. I just don't see or have any confidence based on the history. So I'm looking at the history of Nate. And I always ask myself, why did they lose? Why did his teams lose like in the playoffs? Like he gets to the playoffs. He do a great job with that. But then it's something that I guess when it starts to be X's and O's. Sorry about that. Hold on one second.
You good, bro? You good? Talk to me, Matt. What's your thoughts about Coach Nate McMillan, man?
I like
And,
Nate.
and real quick, as of right now, are you a Nate supporter or are you on the fire Nate bandwagon? As of right now,
I'm a supporter. Right now, I'm a supporter. I gotta see, because this is the most talented team he's ever coached. So he's never had a player like Trae. So I gotta give him time to succeed or demonstrate he can't succeed with this roster. What I don't want them to do is Travis or the team to try to conform to what his style, because I'm not sure his style wins. So I would hate for them to get rid of a player or players that they value that maybe Nate doesn't because of defense or whatever. They get rid of them, and then it's very hard to find. Like we throw, like some people like don't value Kevin Huerter, like throw him. He's not where we want him to be, but still that level of player at wherever he got drafted, 19, 20, like that's hard to find. Most of those players in that position are like in the bench or barely in a rotation. So for him to be a major contributor, starting shooting guard for us now, whether he should start going forward, that's a different conversation. I don't think so. I think he's more of like a 6-man long term, but I'm supporting Nate right now, but I gotta see the X's and O's, because getting to the playoffs is the bare minimum with this roster. And I will give Nate credit, like throughout his history, they win 40-something games a year. They get to the playoffs. I mean, that's pretty part of course with Nate. But that next level, when you got to, get in there and strategize, come up with counters, come up with innovative stuff, that ain't his forte. And then the coaching staff, I'm cool with Chris Gent being there because the players like him. But the rest of those coaches, I'm like, why is your son on the coaching staff? Now, if his son was like some innovative offensive coach or some innovative defensive coach and, was an X's and O's guy, and it was raved about him being that before he got here, I'd be like, okay, I can see that. But he's supposed to be like a player development coach with the guards. But that's why they hired Nick Van Exel. So I'm like, why you need both of them doing the same thing?
I feel you. Hey, GM, finish your point, man, before you got interrupted, man. Did you get your thought out, or you needed more time?
Oh no, I need it, and I try to hurt. I try to be more. I love the way my boy. I love the way my boy kind of he speaks well. And all you guys. So
Matt.
Yeah, I'm trying to prove, but yeah, I appreciate. Yeah, I was saying, you guys make a great argument because when you say Nate McMillan, this is his first year. I mean, if I was a GM, I'm looking like, okay, man, you fired this guy after firing the coach before, Lloyd Pierce. Now you're gonna fire Maurice. You're gonna fire him the next coach the next year, and they just don't look right. But then what I'm thinking about, it's like it's an Atlanta trend. It's like, do we take the chance of trying to see what Nate can do? And it reminds me, I don't agree with divorce. I think you should stay in a marriage, but it's like when people saying it just don't work and we're just gonna try to make it work. Well, you should. And I guess that's what Atlanta Hawks are trying to do. But I just don't see it. I just don't see it working because of his history, and I'm like, will he change? And also, he made a good point saying that Nate never had a superstar, on the caliber of Trae Young. I don't know how true that is, but I believe it's true. So is he's gonna go too far to where he's trying to please Trae instead of coach Trae up, and maybe that's how you coach him up. I don't know. But I feel like Trae needs somebody a little bit more stern, but then open-minded at the same time, where they can kind of connect, but still, I gotta put you on the bench when you mess up. You see what I'm saying? And I don't know, being that he was so young, he's not ready for just allow him to be, just that superstar. But yeah, I'll give him one more year. I'll give him one. I shorten it up. I give him one more year. It will hurt because I in my mind I'm saying it's going to be the same thing that we're seeing now.
So you feel this season, on a scale of 1 to 10, we just talking regular season, not play-ins, not playoffs. What would you give Nate on a scale of 1 to 10 if you took everything into consideration? You take in how the season went, you take in all the decisions, the injuries, the COVID, having to play with a bunch of G Leaguers. How would you assess Nate's season so far?
And I'll make it better for you. I'll tell you the assessment of the grade and also what he would have to do in order for me to keep him.
Okay, let's hear it. And then we'll go right to you, Matt, with the same question.
All right.
And so I will grade, with the injuries, which everybody had to, the COVID stuff, everybody had to kind of go through that here and there. Now, the starters and all that, the amount of starters you lose, he did lose a lot. But I would give him like I'm trying to a 5. I say like average, being that I know who Nate is and what he did and accomplished. I give him a 5, and also what he would have to do in order for me not to want to get him fired is to make. They would have to make the Eastern Conference again. They would have to make the Eastern Conference.
They would have to make the Eastern Conference final this year or next year.
With this year. That would kind of
that ain't finna happen, bro.
No, I know. I'm just saying what I would do. I'm saying if you would ask me like, well,
I feel you, but you know that ain't gonna happen. You would right now. You wouldn't bet $100 right now that the Hawks will go to the Eastern Conference final right now.
You're right.
Exactly.
But you know why I'm saying that though? Because I'm saying Nate McMillan. If you gave me a coach, if you gave me one of the coaches that I really like and put them on the team now, I would be confident. I hear you guys say they don't have talent. I believe Atlanta have talent.
I think we have talent, but I think we don't have the correct pieces to win a championship. When I say that, I mean to compete against teams like the Milwaukee Bucks. We don't have the players, and we don't have the the players we have now is like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like they don't really have the passion. I mean, hold on, let me swing. Hold that thought. Let me swing to Matt. Let me get Matt's comment on the last question. Hell, I don't even remember the last question, but hope Matt remember the last question I asked.
Nate for the regular season.
Right.
So I'm not even gonna talk about the injuries. I'm gonna just look at the 10 COVID games where we played, including Christmas, where we played just with a ravaged roster. G leaguers basically for like just those 10 games. Even if we win half of those, instead of being in the play-in, we're like the 5th seed like last year. So to overcome a 17-25 start, they did have a very good record. Actually, they only lost 2 more games this second half than last year. If you look at it, the last 40, 45 games of the season. I was going to say 5. I might bump it to 6, trying to give him a little bit of credit because they did, like I said, they did have to overcome an 8-game under 500 record in December, the end of December. So, but I wouldn't get rid of them this year, except if they got swept. Now, if they got swept, all bets are off. We're gonna have to, you're gonna have to sell me on why I should keep you. But outside of a sweep, I feel like we should bring them back next year because you don't want to be that franchise that fires a coach every few years because that's bad. Agents talk, players talk. You'll get a bad rep, and then down the road you have trouble getting free agents, trouble getting that high level coach that you need to come in. But I will give him next year. And next year, I do think Travis is going to make, well, I guess Landry now since he's in charge. But we'll see this summer what changes they make organizationally. But I think they are going to upgrade the roster at shooting guard and center. I really think they're going to look for an upgrade for Capella and definitely an upgrade for Bogdanovich. Because I think, like I said, Kevin Huerter is more of a 6-man. But next season, granted, they make the upgrades that I think they're going to make. I would want to see, the conference finals next year. Or, what happened in Philly a couple years ago where they lost that buzzer beater in Game 7 to Toronto. Something like that. A deep playoff run. If it's another bumpy regular season and the early exit in the playoffs, he got to go.
Now, do y'all think it's fair? Because like in football, right? When you get a new coach, the first thing that they want to do is get their own players in, right? Mm-hmm. So Nate basically just took over this team. He hasn't really had an imprint as far as personnel. Mm-hmm. So let me swing it. Let me hit you since I got you here, Matt. Do you think it's fair? And we all know that life ain't fair and stuff and all that jazz. But do you think it's fair to judge Nate and didn't have no hand in building the team that he's coaching? Do you give him a little leeway for that? And then I'll get your opinion on that, Jim.
No. I think Nate, to me, he's won. I think a lot of that. He's a good coach. I don't want to make it sound like he's not a good coach. He is. He's just not a championship coach. It's a different level you have to get to, and he's not on that level. So his style is very old school. Like last year, when he took over, he kind of ran the same offense that they had last year. He just, kind of empowered the assistant coaches to take more control over the schemes, and he just kind of, motivated the players. This year, it's all his schemes, it's his assistant coaches. So, and I had read he had said he took a lot of, like they had other offensive movement outside of the pick and roll. And he said that he got rid of a lot of that because he felt they just needed to set harder screens to get open shots. And I'm like, what is this dude talking about? So, no.
What's your thoughts on that, Jim?
Yeah, you see me shaking my head. Nate McMillan is an assistant coach, man. I'm not trying to be mean. I believe it's fair to answer your question. What's happening. For us to do that to him, like somebody had to fire him, or he didn't have a chance. I think I never had a chance. Sometimes I felt like I could coach football with the best of them. All glory be to God. But for the talent, but you've been given an opportunity. You have to, when the opportunity comes, a lot of people would love to be in that position. So you have to make the most of it, and you have to think outside of the box. You see what I'm saying? And I just think that he's just not a head coach. I think they want him to be. I think he's a great assistant coach. Like he seems like he's more about that substitution pattern, reminding the coach this, blah, 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 relating to the players. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's what helped. So I'm just being honest. I think that's what helped last year with Trae. You see what I'm saying? And they took off with him. You see what I'm saying? And that was an emotional ride. But now that we back down, I sense that I'm telling you, what hurt him with me was when I heard a player that I believe Trae said it is boring. I'm telling you, he wouldn't have said they would have had to fire me because he wouldn't have said that. Like that person that is leaking out into the team as far as like that personality. Somebody always say the team is like the coach, and whether Nate is a nice, he's a nice guy, great guy, but I just don't. If he had the X and the O's, I could probably get over that. But it's like he's lacking two things. He's lacking that, like somebody said it yesterday, a savant. Being a savant out there on the court, knowing, and then also just being able to actually adapt, not bringing the Falcons into play, but it seemed like the Falcons head coach, and now that's a team they didn't have the talent last year, but it seems like he's trying to adapt to what he have. He might want to run something, but he's going to adapt to what is being given to him. You see what I'm saying? And then now you can build on. And I don't have confidence in Nate building with his players. I feel like we're going to go backwards. You see what I'm saying? And I blame that on the GM, not Nate. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Well, what I would say is this, man. My thoughts on it is this. I don't even feel, when I'm just not being a homer, when I'm just being when I'm just being completely just a basketball fan, and I've said it up here numerous times, I think that this roster, it's not championship material. I don't care who the coach is. We have so many flaws. It's so many flaws. We lack in a lot of areas that you don't see the Milwaukee Bucks. You don't see the Phoenix Suns, teams of that caliber, lacking in those areas. And I can, I could say lacking at personnel wise, lacking effort wise on defense, lacking effort wise on offense. When the last time, besides before the playing games we played, when the last time you seen, going after the ball? Before the playing, we watching. I said, when the last time before the playing games you seen numerous players on our team going after the ball, saving these balls? The effort. What I see a lack of effort from our players. And I blame me personally. If I had to give Nate a grade, I would give him. I'm probably right there with Matt. I would give him about a 6. I mean, yeah, there's reasons why I'll give him a 6, and I said it earlier. Lack these substitution patterns. I understand the politics that go on, NBA. Like, you can't really bench a Trae Young like that without having an answer to the general manager. Like, we got to be real. I'll be telling people, you got to be realistic. I don't care how bad his defense is. You know what I'm saying? We can't have him off the floor because we can't score the ball without him. Let's be real. We too Trae Young dependent as a team anyway. Without him, it's hard for us to score the ball consistently. But I would give Nate a 6. I'm up there with Matt. I would give Nate one more season. What I would like Nate to do, I don't know if he does it already, but from what I've heard, he doesn't. He needs to get his hands. He needs to be hands-on, in free agency and personnel moves. He needs to be hands-on. He needs to be telling the GM, this is the type of player that I need to be successful in order for us to go another level. You know what I'm saying? And I think he said he doesn't worry about player moves. I promise I heard him say that in the interview. He don't worry about player moves. He let the GM handle that. which to me is not a good look. Your GM should be asking you, what do you need to be successful? And then he need to go get it. That's my logic. That's how I look at it. But
Do
I
you
would go
do you
ahead,
think
GM.
I had a question for you? Do you think Nate would have, like, say before Trey was drafted, like this is the year coming up, and we already have Nate McMillan. Do you think Nate McMillan would have said get Trey? Is that his type of player?
Probably not, but I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. I didn't want Trae Young neither. I wanted Luka Doncic. No, my first pick, I wanted DeAndre Ayton. And then I told people New Pat City, if we can't get Ayton, because I know he's gonna go one, I want Luka Doncic. I wanted to keep Luka Doncic. But I can't sit here and say, let's be honest, when you look at Trae Young, now some people have told me he is box office when he was in college, right? But to me, I was looking at his build. You know what? Somebody always told me, man, they was like, you never want your superstar to be the point guard. Because usually the point guard, usually the smallest dude on the team. Because if Trae Young is 6'5", 6'4", 6'4" through 6'6", he's probably the best player in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? He's not. Now, you could put it on Nate. Nate has to, if Trae sucks on defense, he need to come up with a game plan to assist him. You know what I'm saying? On offense, he need to come up with a game plan to assist him. I think Nate sometimes gives Trae a little bit too much damn, how can I say it? Credit. I'm just saying he give him too much. I think he give him too much credit. I mean, he a 2-time All-Star starter, but I mean, I believe Nate McMillan knows way more basketball than Trae Young does. You know what I'm saying? You're talking to a guy who's been in the finals, who's played on 60-win supersonic teams, who's been with guards who can play defense. And I still think that he can still teach Trae. And the relationship that they have, to me, is, I don't know if it's good or bad. Because it kind of reminds me more of I don't want to say father son, because he got his dad, but that's how they kind of look to me, like father son. Like they don't look like coach player to me. You know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts on? Let's go to Matt. What's your thoughts on Trae Young and Nate McMillan's relationship, man? Like you saw real quick, and I'm gonna go to you when we clinched against Cleveland, and then you see Nate McMillan come back there, man. And he
I saw the video. Yeah.
And you see Trae Young's reaction, like he was like his dad was doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like he was kind of laughing, like, "Oh, my dad proud, like the coach proud of me." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I saw that today, actually.
Yeah, that's funny,
bro. What type of relationship do you think they have, and do you think Trae Young says something to the front office about it?
Kind of missed that second part.
Okay, my bad. I blanked out. It was the second part was, if we did get rid of Nate, do you think Trae Young will feel some type of way about it? Maybe bring it up to the front office.
So the first part, I think they have a pretty good relationship. From all I can tell and read, they have a pretty good relationship. Trae actually leans on him for his playoff experience. I think a lot of the reason why he didn't like Lloyd Pierce, because he felt like Lloyd Pierce, didn't know whether it was right or wrong. He felt like Lloyd Pierce didn't know the game.
Was beneath him. That's what he felt like. Like he was beneath him. Like you ain't even make it to the NBA, but you trying to tell me how to be a point guard.
Exactly. And then I tell people all the time, you got to think as much. Trae been watching film since he was 8, 9 years old. So the coverages he didn't see, the offenses he didn't see, the defenses he didn't see, he probably this dude Pierce. Not only is he kind of reading through reports and stuff, he was kind of smug. He also probably didn't know, or Trae felt like he didn't know what he was talking about. He didn't know X's and O's at all. So I think his relationship, I think there's a respect level for Nate because he played in the league at a high level or a moderately high level. So I think he got respect for Nate. If they got rid of Nate, I think he would have a problem with it. But I think if Travis sat down and told Trae, hey, this is what I feel like it's going to take us to the next level, I think Trey would be okay with that because him and Travis have a very good relationship. Because in part, Travis kind of like I won't say risked his job, but he kind of like put a lot into Trey. Swapping him for Luka, but so and Trey understands. From everything I then heard from him and seen from, he understands that Travis kind of went out on a limb and did what a lot of GMs wouldn't do, which is take the guy who was considered the lesser player because he felt it was easier to build a team around Trey than Luka. And I mean, I hear what you're saying about the roster, and I agree it's not a championship roster, but also you got to keep in mind that the team is built a certain way. So certain players are not going to fit the system. Well, the way that Travis wants the team to look is certain players are not going to fit that mold. So
But
certain guys.
But Matt, Travis drafted the players. He
No.
signed the players.
No. I'm talking about like you're like they're missing. They're missing like I know like not today, or I don't know if you said it today, but like you say sometimes like they're missing like a 7-footer, or they're missing.
Oh yeah,
like,
okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Like he built like he values small ball, so him in his mind, Bam out of Onyeka at 6'9", playing that small ball 5, that is a big to him that is a big man. Because I remember last year when they got eliminated, they asked him.
But Onyeka 6'7".
Yeah. Even John Collins played
short.
small ball 5 at 6'8" or 6'7", 6'8". And I remember they asked Travis last year at the end of the season press conference, do you feel like you need to go out and go get a 7-footer? JaVale McGee, for example, or a Willie Cauley-Stein. Do you feel like you need to go get one of those dudes, or do you feel like your roster is good as is? And he said at the time, I feel like the roster that I built is good as is because I feel like.
Let me hop in there right though.
Yeah, go ahead.
But then he comes right back on 92.9 The Game and says this probably before that. It's probably before that part. Yeah, because this way before Willie Cauley-Stein got released. But he comes on 92.9 The Game and says when they asked him about the roster and the re-signing of players, he said, yeah, maybe some people I shouldn't have re-signed. So, and that's what I'm saying. Like the roster, that falls on Travis. What you got, GM? And I'll swing right back to you, Matt.
Go ahead. Yeah.
That could be possibly, without saying it, without putting a name out there, John Collins. That's where I'm taking it. Now, I could be wrong about that because that was the last one to sign, and that was the one that was actually trying to see where are you going to sign with some other team? Let's see.
But GM, but that's Travis' fault. He ain't had to resign.
Yeah.
He could have traded. Yeah, he could have traded him.
For me, that's it's like you said, politics. There's a lot of politics going on with that, but yeah, I give you. I mean, you get 2 thumbs up on that. I give him. That's where he went wrong. That's where he went wrong.
He drunk the Kool-Aid, man. He drunk the Kool-Aid.
I mean, but you know what? I mean, it's hard. I mean, you're just coming off Eastern Conference Finals.
I mean, I drunk the Kool-Aid too. Don't get me wrong. I've said it plenty of times. They always, I'll be like, F these dudes, and they all, they'll do something. I drink the Kool-Aid. I'm up here, yay! And then they turn around and drop an egg, But
now who's gonna say too? Nate McMillan might be saying, "Hey, I need John Collins on the team. You just signed him, So it's kind of like, well, I just got my head coach. How does it look not giving him the player that he needs to have, to come back?
I don't know if he said.
So that's why I say, are these two on the same page?
I think you know what I think, bro.
No, I'm not. I don't know.
Just to hop off real quick.
Are they on the same?
Just to hop off real quick. I believe with the John Collins deal. Now, you and Matt, tell me if I'm crazy. Okay, tell me if I'm crazy. I believe that John Collins' agent and Travis Slink worked out parameters of a deal, and that that Travis was always going to re-sign Collins. And the reason I think that is because at the end of the season, he came up and said, John sacrificed for the betterment of the team. He sacrificed his own stats for the betterment of the team. Now I'm thinking, okay, say he did sacrifice for the betterment of the team. Is sacrificing worth $25 million a year? Is that really worth? Because he sacrificed, so you gonna give him 125 over 5?
I'm about to say
ahead.
it's a big. It's a. I'll be real quick. Thank you, Matt. It's a big. That's a power forward. It wasn't too many. See, it's a panic. It's a panic in this certain situation.
Watch
There's
this.
not
Watch
too
this.
many
Watch
power
this.
forwards.
GM is Collins worth $25 million a year? Yes or
Oh,
no?
if you ask me, oh no.
Matt,
No.
is Collins worth $25 million
60
a
million, 70
season?
million at best.
And that's what I'm
60 million,
saying,
70
my
million.
guy. I believe they had something already figured out, man. Like, I'm thinking to myself, you have to trade Collins by the deadline, because if you don't, you're gonna pay him. I was telling them when that trade deadline passed, I said, guys, this before I had this channel and I was in New Pat City. I said, guys, he gonna give Collins whatever he want when that trade deadline passed. Bro, that's crazy to me.
But I want to say something. I interrupted Matt. So Matt, if you
all right, let's swing it back to Matt. Matt, is Collins worth $25 million a year?
All right. So that's complicated. Here's why. I think I said this yesterday before yesterday. They're not. Collins didn't get the money solely for what he has done. That's part of it. He also got the money for what they anticipate he will do, the growth he'll make in his game. Like Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo didn't get $160 million because he was a great player when he signed it. They said we expect a certain jump in your game. I think with John, they expected a certain jump. Now, whether he made that jump or not, that correlates to the money. That could be debated about. But I think John thought that they were going to use him like they used Bam. They use Bam at high post. They use him as a playmaker. They use him to slip screens. They do creative stuff with Bam. Because to be honest, Bam's not the most talented offensive player, on his team. I think Strus is a better, ball handler and playmaker than Bam is. But they grew that. They developed it with Bam. They spent time with him. They put him through their player development program. John, it was like he catch alley-oops and he can stretch the floor shooting over 40% from 3. So that's part of it. The other part is I think they brought John back because if he's not that guy, if he's not that second star, you can trade him. But you need to sign him to a big enough contract. It's part of the reason why he talked about signing Clint. Now, the part of the summer that he signed Clint to the extension, you could argue he should have did it earlier. But part of the reason why he signed Clint to that extension, gave him the money that he did, and John, so it's easier to trade them for a bigger star. If I re-sign John Collins for $15 million a year, and I want to go get Pascal Siakam or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they make $32 million a year, $33 million a year. Now I'm adding in John plus Kevin plus Hunter and maybe a pick. So it takes away from the team. So you got to keep that in mind too. It's about the team building as well. The salary caps, all that's incorporated.
So you saying part of the 25 million per year was but Travis basically was kind of thinking kind of ahead of the game. Like, okay, if I want to move him now I can give up less assets if I include him on the deal to make the money work.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay. I can understand that, but I don't think he did that. I don't think he was thinking that. I think he drunk the Kool-Aid because we made that run to the conference finals. Because what you about to say, Matt? What you about to say?
Oh, no, because if you look at the first contract, y'all probably all loved the first contract that they offered him. 4 years, $90 million, because most people think that's where his talent is. $17, $18 million a year. They don't think it's $25 million a year. But
Matt, stop. But pause right there, because I want Matt to continue. That while you're on that point, that's why I think he got 120 million, because he couldn't go down. He had to come up. He already offered it, and he said he declined it. So now he's what he's gonna do? Well, I would have done it. I said, well, we're gonna go back to the 90 and look, nobody wants you.
Well, tell me this
nobody
though, but this was my
I'm not saying
thinking.
he's sorry, but I'm saying nobody wanted to pay that much. That's
I got you. A lot
see,
of fans said that.
But see, this is my thinking, right? And this is me if I'm a GM, right? I'm always thinking a year or two ahead, right? So the season, his contract year last year, I'm gonna make him a good offer, right? In my head, as a GM, right? In my head, I already know what's the most I want to pay this guy. So in my head, I have a number. Say the number is 20 million per, right? And I go to Collins, and me myself, I'm not gonna lowball. No, I'm gonna give you my offer, what I think you worth from jump, right? Because I don't want to waste nobody's time. I'm offering you $20 million right now, right? If you turn that down, and my number in my head is 20 million, this is what I think you worth. Guess what? I'm trading you. In my head, I'm like, he turned that down. That means he want more money. Unless by the time we get to this All-Star break, this dude is an All-Star or something to that effect. I'm going to trade him. I'm looking for trade offers. As soon as he tell me no, as soon as he turned down that first offer, I'm already looking for trades. What's available? What's out there, right? Because now, when you get to the trade deadline, and you don't trade him, now you stuck. Because as a GM, you look kind of bad losing a 20-10, whatever you want to call college, 20-10 1 year, a 17-7 guy, whatever. If you lose him for nothing, you know what I'm saying? So I think Travis probably I think he dropped the ball on that, in my opinion, man. I think Collins should have been gone. Because if I don't think you worth 25 million, I'm not gonna give you 25 million, because now that's cap space. I could be using that cap space. I could have offered somebody else 25 million. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So 2 questions. One, during the time period that they were debating on trading him, you had, at the time, you got this context too, because you had won 7-8 in a row. Y'all starting to turn the corner under Nate. Y'all playing y'all best basketball of the season. To trade a guy at that point for what you're going to get for him, you got to keep him on. He's on a rookie scale deal. He's at 17, 18 a game, 10 rebounds. The relationship, because they already say they quiet right now anyway. Even with John, he's the most vocal guy on the team. That's in his relationship with Trae as well. I'm asking you, what are you looking like? Who do you trade him for? Keeping all that in mind.
Well, I'm gonna have to find pieces that's available that can help my team. I mean, when you wait till the final year of somebody's contract, you put yourself put yourself against the wall, because now you looking, you like, you know what? I don't want to make such a crazy offer that I outbid myself. What's the saying? I'm just bidding against myself. You know what I'm saying? I would have bro, once he turned down that offer, because like I said, I already got a number in my head, man. Once he turned down that offer, and I already know the agent said he want more money, and I already made up my mind, I don't want to pay it. And that's why I'm saying you could have been shopping for a deal the whole first half of the season leading up to the trade deadline. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
I think he was, but he didn't they were talking about what's his name? Malik Beasley, trading for Malik Beasley and a pick, right? The reason they didn't do that because they couldn't agree to the protections of the pick. Was it top 5 or top 10 or whatever the case may be? But in hindsight, I'm happy they didn't do that, because if you would have traded John Collins at the trade deadline last year for Malik Beasley and even if let's say it's a top 8 pick, that's a disaster, because the one winning season you have with Trae before he got to sign his max extension, it's another lottery season. So you got to show him that you're trying to win. And I think if you would have traded John at the trade deadline, last year would have been a lost year because you're not going to find a 18 to 20 point a game score on a rookie contract. You know what I'm saying? So, but I
Yeah, I
do,
feel you. I feel
yeah.
you. I feel you. But man, listen, and I'm a John Collins fan. You know what I'm saying, man. You know I got the jersey and everything, but I don't really think he's. I don't think he's worth 25 million. I know in the groups in New Pack City, I was just telling people I don't think he's worth 25 million, but I know he's gonna once that trade down deadline pass. I was like, he's gonna get paid. I mean, because Travis Link really don't have no other options. You know what I'm saying? Unless he could have pulled off a sign and trade. He could have found a disgruntled star, which now that I think about it, what you said earlier might come to fruition now, you know, because now you got stars. If you want to consider him a star, you got guys like Gobert and Mitch and Donovan Mitchell not getting along in Utah.
Right.
I don't know what other power
Jaylen
forward.
Brown, maybe we can hope if they get eliminated.
Yeah, if they get eliminated, or maybe he demands a trade because I think he under contract, so he'll probably have to demand a trade. You
Another
know what I'm
year.
saying? But I think Travis dropped the ball on the Collins situation, man, and I really believe that Travis, and obviously I'm just saying this from the outside looking in. I think Travis and Nate, and I agree with GM. I don't believe they're on the same sheet of music. You know, now I do agree they have to talk a little bit because Travis did go out, and I give him credit for picking up DeLon Wright because we needed another defensive guy who could guard at the guard position. So he addressed that. So they at least talking a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Unless, because correct me if I'm wrong, Travis was an assistant coach before, right? Before he went to the front office. So maybe, well, now saying that, I mean, maybe he just looked at it himself and was like, yeah, we need some help there. You know, I still think before we can even get anything popping, they need to get on the same sheet of music. I agree with everybody. Nate does need to add and they don't have to be no super savant, but bruh, anybody with basketball common sense know we just stand there and look at Trae Young dribble the ball. So yeah, and I also agree with I don't know why his son is on the coaching staff. I have no idea why he did that. Go ahead, Jim. What you got? What you got, homie? We can't hear you.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I didn't want you to hear the background noise. Do me a favor. Put up that last tab. I mean, the tab I just put in your chat.
Where? Oh, right here.
With Nate McMillan. Yeah. If everybody, stay on the channel. Go to another tab. Look that up in Wikipedia. Make Nate McMillan. And this is why I'm worried. You see what I'm saying? I think you should give him a chance. He had three. He was. I think he was with Portland. He had 3 first round exits in a row. Okay. Then they fired him. It's like, I'm trying to put my mind, and I want to be fair to him. But what the GM over there was thinking, what are they? Dang, we don't see any improvement. Like we just don't see it happening. Okay. Now he goes to, I don't know, it's with the same team. I was just focused on trying to copy it down. But could it be with the Pacers? I don't know. But 4 first round exits again. Now I'm only showing the money is because he said something about our talent. Now he goes to Atlanta, and he goes to the Eastern Conference Final. Demond, this is my opinion. We got a team. I believe we finals. I believe we're a finals roster. I mean, this is my opinion. The way we're built, we just have to find that right. And I know you're about to go. We'll say one more thing. We just got to find that right coach that match.
But
like say if it's a Golden State, I believe in simulation.
What
if
about
somebody
this,
runs
GM?
like a Golden State or Miami offense, the Heat offense, what we just saw, I believe that fit the team.
Okay, what about this? What about this? So I look at your evidence, right? 3 first round exits fired, 4 first round exits fired. comes on the Hawks staff, which I believe that was a GM move anyway, because I don't know why Lloyd Pierce would put Nate McMillan on his staff, who knows way more than him anyway. So I think that was a GM move anyway by Travis. So then we go 14-20. Nate takes over. We go 27-11, I think, in the second half of the season.
Mhm.
We make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now I'm just gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it a buck. We needed a lot of help to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Besides the Knicks, we got tons of help. Philly tricking off 2 20-point leads. Kevin Huerter coming out of the blue in that game 7. They tricking off game 7.
You're hard on Kevin Huerter.
Well, I'm just saying, man, like,
he's
bro,
he's a 19th pick overall, man. So I think I don't know. I believe he's giving us what he's supposed to be giving
But
us.
hold on,
And
Demont.
it could be a little better based on I believe it's the coaching. That's why I can't evaluate them like I want to, because I feel like they're not getting the right tools. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I can't be so hard on them because, and I know people say, well, why you showing faith? Because the coach got to put them it's your job to put them in the right situations. You see what I'm saying?
And what? And I'll give you that. I'll give you that point. I will say that. I said, because I've said this before. I don't know if y'all heard me on this show, but I've said that to me, Kevin Huerter is like a poor man's Gordon Hayward when he was with Utah.
I agree with you.
He has the build, he has the size. I think Kevin Huerter, I think he's just not mentally. Let me bring on my boy Juan real quick. I just don't think Kevin Huerter, I don't think Kevin Huerter has the mindset to be a star in the NBA personally.
I would agree with
because to me, he's too timid. He's too timid. He's mentally it's been drilled in his head. Now, this could be the coaching. To me, it's been drilled in his head that he always has to defer to Trae Young. And that's why I tell people, keep Bogey coming off the bench, bro. Because Bogey used to do the same thing. He used to defer to Trae. Since he's been coming off the bench, Bogey has been way more aggressive with the ball, shooting. Just his overall energy has been just up there because he doesn't have to say, okay, where's Trae? And I will give you this. And you could say this is probably coaching. We all know Trae Young gonna get blitzed by a double team, or what Miami did to us yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why the hell we just don't have somebody else bring the damn ball down? Wouldn't that fix that? Have somebody else bring the ball. Now Miami has to change their whole defensive scheme because they're scheming on Trae bringing the ball down. I mean, you could say that's coaching.
Strategy. That sounds like strategy.
Strategy, which is coaching.
Yeah.
So I'll point out some stuff. Let's get Juan up in here. What's good, my guy? Talk to me, man. I give you the main topic. This was the main topic. So I don't know if you know. The main topic is, if we get swept by the Heat, should the Hawks fire Lloyd Pierce? Follow.
It's the same guy. It's the same guy.
Hey, the only difference, he got a better relationship with Trae.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Should we fire Nate McMillan if we get swept out of the first round? Appreciate you, William, for tapping in, my guy. That was the main topic, and then we kind of veered off from there.
So I know we've been off and on with this over the last couple of days and last couple of little casts that we had over here. Even with the Hawks winning, man, and I think Matt and Virtue GM might have alluded to is like, it sets up a bad image if we're firing coaches every year, and it makes it seem like we don't have any stability within our organization, and that would kind of, not necessarily stop cats from want to come to Atlanta, because we know Money overrules everything, and you throw out enough bucks, guys are going to sign on there. You know what I mean? But it kind of sets a bad image. Like, hey, Atlanta, they're not a stable organization. They're firing coaches every year. They get to the playoffs. They having player disagreements. So I wouldn't say necessarily fire Nate if we get swept, because we got some daunting challenges on our end right now. We don't have Capella. We might not have for the whole series. It seems like the last 2 years maybe missing a key component. He was missing Hunter last year, and Cam came on late, and now we're missing Capella, and JC is coming back now after having hampering injuries, but he's not on the injury report now. So I mean, I guess he's good to go. I look at it from this standpoint, man. Nate is going to have to get him a stronger uh, bench of coaches, assistant coaches, to make the mass his deficiencies, to match
Yeah.
his deficiencies. Or if we're in the same predicament where we're fighting for a play-in or a super low seed with all the talent we have next year, I can see him going in year 3. You know what I mean? And I say year 3 because I know he took over for LP last year, so it'd be kind of like, oh, we're 2.5 years. I can see him being fired because we're not getting where we need to be. As far as the player personnel that you guys are talking about, you're starting to break them down. Yeah, I know you said Kevin Herter. Kevin Herter absolutely defers to Trae Young. He I think he's mentally weak in some aspects of his game. You know what I mean? He doesn't trust his body. I think he's scared that he's going to re-injure that right shoulder again because he's injured it every season. And he's afraid he might pop out or, afraid to draw in contact with somebody. But that's where coaching, that's where those rough riders, quote unquote, come in and say, hey man, you are tall, you're big, you have the advantage over most guards every single night. 90% of the time, Herter has the advantage over most guards. And he has a unique skill set because he can shoot 40% from the three, he can shoot 40% from mid range, and he can shoot over 56% at the rim. But it's also building that mentality, man. You look at guys like Tyler Hero and Jordan Poole. All these guys came out around the same draft class as Kevin Herter, and they're miles ahead of him right now, man. Miles ahead of him because they have that confidence. Like, shoot it, keep shooting. Like, I don't care if Trae is numero uno, man. Herter actually shoots better than Trae Young. You know what I mean? But he doesn't get the opportunities Trae do. And we said this to mine. Herter averages between 8 and 11 shot attempts a game from your starting shooting guard. 8 to 11 shots. That's unacceptable, man. Every shooting guard in the league right now is averaging 15 to 20 shots
And
per game.
and now speaking of Kevin Herter, now correct me if I'm wrong. He the first one to go to the bench now.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right or
Yeah,
wrong?
yeah.
He the first one to go to the bench, man. And listen, man. Sometimes I wonder with somebody like a Kevin Herter, are we really missing a guy like a Solo to go ahead and say, bro, what are you doing? You have this build, you have the talent. I mean, we all know, bro. Listen, if we know, I'm sure the other teams know. We know what Kevin Herter gonna do when he get the ball. He either gonna pass it to Trae, right? He either gonna dribble the ball till he passes it to Trae, or he attacks and I promise every time, my guy, get to the free throw line, jump up in the air to pass
Mm-hmm.
the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He rarely
Hey,
attacks the basket. Go ahead, Jim. What you got, my guy?
Demond, did you hear what the Miami coach said in his interview after the post game?
I
No,
heard some of it, man. What point you talking
He was
about?
talking about Trae Young. He was saying that when the guys coming off Friday, we know they're gonna be ready the next game. But he's pretty much somebody asked him about the talent, and then Robinson, the guy who's killing us, and he
Mm-hmm.
was saying, well, Robinson don't have the talent that Trae has as far as dribbling. But he said, don't let it fool you. He pretty much summarized, he'll shoot your eyes out. So my thing is, I'm looking at that. Robinson is Robinson better than, like, far as talent level?
No,
Herter.
no.
So what?
Yeah,
I mean,
I would pick Herter over. If I had to side by side, I would pick Kevin Herter over
That's that
so how
Defender.
is
culture.
it not?
That's that
That's what I'm
culture.
saying. How is he not translating into what we're seeing Robinson?
That that
How is
culture.
Robinson doing that? You see what I'm saying?
I
Yeah,
agree
That
with
that's
Juan. Go
it
ahead,
has. That's what my mind is. It has to be.
bro.
go ahead, Juan, because I agree.
Miami has one of the strongest NBA coaches in the league right now, man. Guys migrate down there. They want to be in that. If you look at their coaching staff right
Yeah.
now, they are grooming the next player coaches for future NBA starting positions. I think you got Rashard Lewis right now as a coach down there. You got Udonis Haslam. I don't know why he's still in uniform, but he's definitely the heart and soul of that team. Definitely the heart and soul of the team. He's going to get a job. He already has a job after. He's 42 years old. He wears a uniform. He preps those guys up. He tells them what needs to be done. He's very smart. He's going to get a head coaching gig here in the
He
future
don't
if he
want to
stays
leave
on this level.
Miami.
He don't want to leave Miami, so he
That's
probably wait for exposure to leave.
yeah.
You
I
know what I
believe
mean?
he's in
But
love. He's in
but
love.
Miami has a strong culture. They have they breed and bring up their assistant coaches and player coaches. Because remember, Spoelstra started in the video room, man, back in the '90s with Tim Hardaway and Alonzo Mourning. Man, he worked his way all the way up to get in the starting position, and so the rest is history. Got 3 titles under his belt. But it's that culture. We don't have that culture. Miami is known for gritty grind. We're gonna muscle you. We're gonna beat you, and we're gonna have some star power in there. LeBron was back then, Tim Hardaway, Dwayne Wade, and now you got the guys that's not afraid to grind. We don't have grinders. We're not afraid somebody's gonna get in your face. Even they are fake tough guys. We don't have that besides Capella and maybe Gallo, man. I mean, Capella is here or there. But Gallo is the only one that's going to call it like it is. We don't have any crap shooters. And what I'm saying, we have too many nice guys. The mindset is all the time. We're passive. We're nice. We'll help you up. We'll pat you in the back. Screw that, man. It's the playoffs. In the regular season, I don't care if you're friends, after the game. We're not friends for those 48 minutes when we're inside those lines, man. You know what I mean? We're enemies. And so I think that culture has a big impact on why Miami is so good every single year, man. And you're going to get a good product when you go down there.
You want to get on that, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. What's crazy about that is, I tell people I research stuff, but what's crazy about Spoelstra is he came up in the video room, but Travis was in the video room with him in Miami in the 90s, early 2000s. He just left to go to Golden State, and Spoelstra stayed in Miami, and the rest is history. So, I know I can't imagine, like I said this yesterday. I don't know if either of you guys was on when I said it yesterday, like, because when I had left school, like I was going to go into scouting, but like there's 3 or 4 pro scouts, there's 3 or 4 college scouts.
Yeah, I heard you say that.
Like in the pro scouts, all they do is watch other teams. There's a scout that all he scouts is the South R division. He watches Miami, Washington, Charlotte. That's all he does, and develops game plans and sends it. It touches the assistant coaches before it gets to McMillan. I cannot believe they're all like just run the pick and roll. Like that's insane. You know what I'm saying? Like they do, 16, 18 hours of film, breakdown. And I'm sure somebody gave Nate, a game plan. I don't know if he like screw that. I'm doing what I do, but what Nate, to me, he's not creative. He's not innovative at all because they run the pick. I get why they run the pick and roll so much. They run the pick and roll so much because Trae Young is elite in the pick and roll. He was like, when he got drafted, he was like in the 90-something percentile, and points off the pick and roll. So, he's a genius in that aspect, but the other guys aren't. So it's okay to run the pick and roll, but you have to have other things off of the pick and roll. Like,
let me ask y'all this. And I'll get with you, Matt, since I got you up here. What do y'all think made Travis add Nate McMillan to LP's coaching staff? I'm thinking, with Trae, with Travis being a former assistant coach coming from Golden State, I'm thinking, okay, if you add a Nate McMillan type to the staff, what you telling me is this guy's finna be the head coach sooner or later. Soon as shit hit the fan, he finna be the head coach. So, and like I told you, I think ahead, right? So if I'm thinking that, why he didn't just go to wherever, Golden State, wherever, and get the coach that he wanted? Now, let me add this. Not saying obviously you can't go after a coach who already got a job. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna leave the job to come be an assistant. But I'm sure there was other coaches, assistants, wherever available that could fit whatever Travis' vision was at the time. Why do y'all think he didn't go with somebody else and went with Nate? I'll start with you, Matt, and then I'll swing it to you, GM, and then we'll hit Juan.
So 2 parts. One, I feel like the way he built the team, they're a great offensive team. My thinking is he's like, we're a great offensive team. It's kind of hard to screw that up. We just need to be good on defense. So if I bring in a defense, that's supposed
average
to be
on defense, average.
That was supposed to be Lloyd Pierce's specialty was defense.
And development.
God knows it wasn't. And then Nate is, I don't know, maybe he lost it. I don't know. but that's supposed to be Nate's specialty too, is defense. So I'm thinking he's probably like, I'm gonna draft the offensive team. I mean, you're gonna have some two-way players here and there, but I'm gonna draft the offensive team and have these coaches instill and build up their defense. That way, we're set on both sides of the ball because they don't have to worry about the offense because these dudes are such good shooters. They're so talented offensively. He don't got to worry about that. He just got to worry about the defensive side of the ball. That's why a majority of their defensive assistant coaches are defensive orientated. That's why I feel like he got
McMillan.
part of the reason he got Nate. The other part of it is Nate. I'll give him credit in he's very structured. He brings structure to a team. Like, he will be good for the Pistons or Sacramento or Charlotte even. He's good for a team with no structure or little structure. He brings structure. He brings stability. That's what you're going to win between 41 and 45 games with Nate.
So you saying so in your opinion, and I'm going to you, Jim, you think Nate is sort of almost like a bridge coach?
I think so.
Okay. GM, talk to me about Nate, man. Why do you think Travis put Nate on LP's coaching staff and not a coach that fit whatever vision or style that he wanted? If that's even true, I'm not saying that Nate not fitting his vision, but he could have put anybody there. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So
That's true.
yeah, talk to me about that.
I agree with Matt. I felt like it was more of a move. I mean, I feel like Lord Pierce might have actually just did that. Hey, I need more defense. I mean, I'm trying to get this head coaching thing situated. I need a defensive-minded person. I can see that. Like maybe he couldn't handle it, so he said, "Let me see if I can get Nate to come over here and get it done." But I will say, Lord Pierce had whoever was running the offense. I don't know who was helping him on offense last year. I want to know if they on can somebody help me out? Are they on the staff this year? But I think it was just to get the defense, because that's one thing. Nate McMillan, when you think about him playing, I remember Seattle Supersonics. He was locking it down. You know what I'm saying? Like that's who he is. So
yeah, he was an all NBA defender.
Shoot, yeah. So now that's why I say Nate he's more of an assistant, man. Like I just think he brings more of an impact just concentrating on that situation, and I hope he proved me wrong, because I mean he seemed like a great guy, and I hope he figure it out. But
go ahead, Jim, finish your thought.
Yeah, I was about to say, he brought him over for the defense to improve, knowing that we're going to have probably one of the top 10, top 5 offenses out there, whether you mess it up or not, But can you imagine the guys in the row like running a true offensive set? What you see like with Golden State, and I know I mention Golden State all the time, but that's who we try to model the team out. So that's why I'm mentioning that. We want it to be like a Golden State 2.0, whether people want to say it or not,
great value.
Yeah, because you see how we drafted.
Juan, what's your thought? Juan, what's your thoughts on that? And let me we got a new person up here, Al3. This is first time on the channel. What's good, my guy? We're gonna swing. Hey, we're gonna swing to you right after Juan finishes his thoughts on this question. Did you hear the question I put up earlier, Al?
Yeah, I heard about Nate.
Yeah, okay. So once Juan finished, we'll swing to you for your thoughts.
All right. So my opinion of why I think we hired Nate was everything Virtual Jim and Matt said, But we also got to remember Nate had just got fired again, or release, quote unquote release from the Pacers because they couldn't get past the first round again. You know what I mean? And this is having what's the kid Sabonis, Sabonis son, having Miles Turner, having Malcolm Brogdon, all those guys couldn't get past the first round. You know what I mean? So he got released, not fired. He got released. So Travis like, all right, man, let's get some veteran coaching ship on this team. Let's bring in Nate McMillan. You know what I mean? That'll be the first one of, in this year. You'll help him with defensive schematics. You'll help him with control and tempo and pace of the game. All the things that embody of being a head coach, he can mold Lloyd Pierce to be, you know. And that didn't happen. We got to our breaking point in December. We were really bad. January, it was like, hey, we need to make a change. Nate, come on over. And Nate really didn't want the job. Y'all remember that, right? He
Yeah, I
said
remember
he,
that.
he,
Yeah.
he didn't really want the job. He's
Well,
like,
he
I feel
said
like I'm taking. Go ahead.
yeah, he was waiting to get like the blessing from Lloyd Pierce. I don't know why,
Yeah,
but
man, he didn't really want the job, and so he eventually eased into it. And and what we're seeing now, a year and a half into the making, is the same things that corrupted the previous teams that Nate used to have, man. And this team is arguably way more talented than what he's ever had. He had a young Kevin Durant and an older Ray Allen. He had a young Paul Pierce at one point. He had a young Sabonis and Miles Turner, and he couldn't get those guys out the first round. And Trae, and also, blessings of the NBA guys got us to the Eastern Conference Finals and 2 wins away from going to the actual NBA Finals, man. And here we are right now, and you're starting to see a tactician and a master strategist in Spoelstra against a cookie cutter coach as in Nate going 1-on-1, and you can see the differences. It's night and day, man. It's really, really sad because even if we might have had dead legs, even if we were tired or whatever the case may be, to let your star point guard continue to dribble and dribble and dribble and dribble and not call for any movement and half court set or flash towards the free throw line to be able to pass it, or just setting offsetting screens and having move without the ball. It was really perplexing to watch, man, and really sad from a fan perspective.
I feel
Any
you.
action.
Yeah, action. And we
That's what
got our
Nate call
boy
it.
Al 3 up in the building. What's good, my guy? What's your thoughts on Nate, man? Oh damn, he left. He probably be back. He probably hit the wrong button.
Yeah, he did.
He probably hit the wrong button. But yeah,
Action.
I agree, man. Listen, man, listen. So I'm gonna give Al 3 about, I'll give him about a minute. Oh, there you go. He back on. Once Al 3 gives his response about Nate, we'll spend the last 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes discussing game 2 real quick. All
Hey, I
right.
gotta ask him. I gotta ask him too before after he give his opinion. After why you would take Duncan over Herter.
Okay. So
Ooh, I
Okay.
love
before,
that.
before you
All
answer
right, I
that,
will.
Al 3, give me your thoughts, man, on Nate McMillan. Should we, if we get swept, should we fire Nate McMillan? Yes or no? What's your thoughts on that?
If we get swept, no. I don't think we should let him go yet. Simply because one, I think Matt said it, where we don't want to be known as the team that if we don't make it, we let a coach go too soon. Two, I think I'm gonna have to agree with Black Aces where he said, have we really seen the team healthy versus should we just be really rating Nate as a coach? You get what I mean? Because right now we rating Nate as a coach, and we don't have. Well, we had John Collins for 10 minutes, and he wasn't jumping nowhere. Like
I
he
think
could have jumped better than that in Centennial Park.
Yeah,
And then,
I think they said our main starting lineup has less than 100 minutes together. Something to that effect.
so we're almost in the same boat as I want to say like what Brooklyn or something like that. But they have superstars. They got two
Yeah.
superstars that they can.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So, but I will say, yeah, I would give him another chance
Let me ask
just
you this,
because.
Al. Let me ask you this, Al. Let me ask you this. Because I figure you said you was gonna give him another chance. Okay, so say this. You give him another chance, right?
Right.
What is your what would Nate have to do for you not to fire him
Second
before
go
the
around.
All-Star break next year? So say you say, you know what, Nate, we're gonna run it back. But
Okay.
here's my conditions. I mean, obviously, you're not gonna tell them that shit for real, but you're gonna set a goal. Hey, we need to be A, B, C, and D by this time. What would be your
Well, to be
here?
honest with you, I would tell him. I would tell him just because Nate coaches differently when fire is under his ass. Now, if if y'all want to talk about Nate coaching last year versus this year, he's comfortable.
Yeah,
He know he
it's
has
true.
the job.
Okay, that's a
Yeah,
good point. That's a
Last
good
year, he
point.
didn't know he had the job
it's true.
until they made it to the playoffs, and then they were doing good, and now they was like, okay, now we're gonna make you the coach.
Yep. 5 years, right?
So,
5 years.
so to be honest with you, I would tell him that, and my thing would be they need to be at least at least 500 or above.
That's it. Just 500.
Yeah, I mean because
But okay, you know what?
yeah, because
500.
especially if everybody's healthy, it needs to be
Yeah,
above
everybody's
500.
every.
But
Yeah.
I would say, you know what? I like that. And like we said, in New Pack City when LP was a coach, we was like, hey, bro, you got 20 games. You got 20 games. And then what happened?
you
He
gotta
got
let 'em know.
fired. We was already under 500 after the 20 games.
Hey,
And then they gave him a couple more games till they gave him another some more who was 14 and 20. Then they finally got
14,
rid of him.
20. Yep. Got rid of
I
him.
would
Yep.
say
Yeah.
this. So I like what you said, Al. I would just add this. Barring injury,
Okay.
I think we should be by the All-Star break, bro. We should be like, I would say I need to be 10 games over 500 by the All-Star break.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm only saying that to say since people think we have a championship contending type roster, I don't see why.
Which
I mean, I don't think that.
I
But,
I
I
you
would
think
know,
I think we will this
Okay.
summer. I think we will this summer.
so
With who?
so do y'all think 10 games over 500 by the All-Star break is not that's not a crazy goal to set on the coach?
No, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro. I'll
healthy,
wait.
healthy.
Healthy.
No. Healthy, yes. Not healthy, no.
I mean,
Because if we don't
miss
go get another 7-footer, we're not going to be 10 games over. And
Yeah,
y'all
I
know
mean
that.
okay.
I do
Go
agree.
ahead, Juan.
I do agree with that. Just like you said, we keep talking about it. We got to get a legitimate 6'11" and above on our bench.
Juan,
Somebody,
how long have I been saying that, Juan?
I know, man. We've been preaching it, man. You know what I mean? You know, and I continue to bring it up. What burns me is that DeMarcus Cousins has been going from team to team, and he's helping Devin out right now off the bench. Somebody could insert it yesterday against Bam and just posting them up all night long. But I digress. Anyway, and so where we're going to find that at? You know, if we don't make it out the first round, man, we got the 16th pick. There's some interesting prospects in the draft this year. So a lot of big men coming out, a lot of skilled big men coming out. I don't know that's the direction we're going to go. We might package it up. We might go pick up somebody. I don't know yet. You know, I'm not Travis.
I think that's
but
what
I
we
know,
need.
yeah, I know Travis is not going to let this team be the same moving forward. He already said that, and I believe we got a whole summer to work on it. If we're out of here by next week, man. So that's number one. Number two, we got to figure out what we're going to do at the small forward and shooting guard position. You know what I mean? Bogey's going to year 3. He's going to be 30 years old. Herter's going into year 5. He's going to be 24 years old. Still got time to develop. Still got time to work on his game. Herter's got to turn that corner, bro. Like some got to click. Something has to click. I'm really dependent and high on Herter because of his skill set. Like it's hard to find 6'8" with that skill set. They can shoot from all 3 levels, and you can dribble, and you can get to the paint anytime. I just don't know why we don't utilize him more in the system as such, man. And then lastly, Nate got to upgrade the bench. I mean, upgrade the assistant coaches on his roster to match those deficiencies.
Yeah, them cats ain't getting it done, bro. I'm gonna tell
Nate
you that
has to
straight up.
believe. Last year, Nate and the whole team believed. Now it's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
like our whole momentum changed. That's what I keep
Yeah.
telling people. Like it's like everybody had the fire under their ass last year. It was like Trae had something to prove, Nate had something to prove, Collins had something to prove. Everybody was hungry. Now it's like when they came in, it's like Lou took them to Magic City before they played.
Speaking of Lou, where is he at?
Oh, you know, he's back hurt
Where's
again.
his veteranship? I just need him to just
King of Diamonds.
yeah, you're right. Getting the 10-piece. Getting the 10-piece as we speak.
Yes. So we had hey fellas, we had an hour 20 minutes. So we're gonna go to the next 15 minutes. What do we need to do, man? We're gonna switch the topic real quick. We're gonna spend this last 15 minutes on what
game
do
two.
we need to do for game 2, bro? What can we fix? What can we do to either win or at least be competitive? Can you hear me, Jim?
I did it again. I'm flipping tonight. First, we got to come out with some energy. That's number one. Okay, you had a chance to rest. You had, Miami. I'm sure you didn't go to any parties and all that, but anyway, had a chance to get your feet underneath you.
We got Lou on the team.
Far as defense, far as strategy, don't let old boy shoot your eyes out. Don't let Robinson do what he did before. You fooled me once, shame on what? Y'all know how it goes. Fooled me twice, shame on me. So you should be able to, come up with some type of strategy. Hey, I'm gonna let what's his name beat me, their center. I'm gonna let him beat me. Being that everybody's saying we don't have a big man, well, go do what you got to do then.
But you know what,
I'm not
analyst?
gonna let you.
I mean, you
I'm
know
not
what,
gonna let you.
GM? But you know what? That sound like to me that requires some that requires some good man defense. We're not good at that.
I mean, our team defense.
For real,
Our team, being y'all said something yesterday. You said something about when they do the pick and roll, or when they having these guys run around like Robinson and trying to get open. Yeah, a guy can't really. I would want D Wright to check him, but you're saying that he can't, because of their style of play.
Well, I'm just saying the whole season we've been terrible, man, on man defense. The whole season. That's why at one point we 10 games under 500.
I believe they are all right. I believe Atlanta Hawks are all right, man. It's a mindset.
That's how we can't keep a lead, bro. Nah.
It's a mind. No, I'm saying it's a mind. It's a mindset, man. I've seen the Hawks when they want to clamp down and they trying to get in the game and they actually really into it. I've seen them do it.
That's the problem. By the time they clap down, they only clap down when we down 15. They need to clap down when it's 0-0.
That's a problem, though. That's a trend. That's a you see that trend, that pattern. That's a problem, man. You know what I'm saying? Like if a team keeps doing that, we come out flat. I don't know why we coming out flat. I don't know. We just got to get some energy. I keep hearing the same thing over and over and over. You see what I'm saying? Like that. I mean, what is that? What is that?
Well, we know a bunch of that is BS though. That's just talk. Oh, we flat. We don't got the energy.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff is talk. It's really we just missing shots. The motherfuckers turning the ball over. You know what I'm saying? Let me swing to Matt real quick. Matt, game 2, what we need to do, man? Is there anything we can do right now?
I would go with a zone, 3-2 zone.
Starting the game. Force
everything inside. Bam is not going to beat you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think his season high is like 28 points, something like that.
But can't you shoot over a zone?
I mean, you can, but aggressive zone. We're gonna push them out to the hash mark and force everything in the paint. Because you're right, they get beat at the point of attack too easy. Especially, we know Trae, but especially Kevin Huerter. But I would go with a zone, and I went back and looked at the game. Out of their 18 threes, I got it written down. Out of their 18 threes, 15 of them was wide open off of either late rotation or no rotation. PJ Tucker in the corner. 15 of the 18 threes were wide open. So, you know what I'm saying? They're a good three-point shooting team, but they don't shoot that well. Anybody can, an NBA player can hit wide open shots. You know what I'm saying? You got to at least run at them. That's why, or run past them while they shooting. I never understand why you're giving an NBA player a wide open shot. That don't make any sense.
Because we lazy.
So that's on offense, and then that's on defense, and then on offense, if I'm on that staff, I'm taping Nate to a chair, and I'm making him watch Miami's offense over and over and over again, and take something from it. A slip screen, some cuts, some back cuts, something. I mean, this pick and roll ain't going to work, or if it is going to work, you got to do it on the move. You can't, come up the court and do it at the top of the key, because their defense is too aggressive. You got to get it on a move. So slip a pick and roll, or back cut. You gotta get it. You gotta get movement in the offense and then do the pick and roll, or do the pick and roll. But that's not the roll. Is not the primary play. It's to the corner, or it's to the elbow. You or put JC at the elbow and do different stuff. That's why I'm kind of. If you look at Jalen Johnson, in college or even in the G League, that you could be, but they didn't develop him. But you could be creative with him in the high post or at the top of the key because he can pass, and that's a guy that you could trust at 6'9" to see over their defense. But that's a lost cause because Nate don't develop anybody. But I don't think they're going to shoot as well as they did in game one. Play zone, get movement on offense. I think we're going to hit a lot more shots than we did in game one. Our legs going to be under us. So I think it's going to be a lot. I'm not saying we're going to win game two, but I think it's going to be a lot more competitive.
Oh, we win. We're winning.
Talk to me, Juan. What we need to be doing for game two, my guy?
Okay. I do agree with the zone, a strong zone. As I'm seeing, looking at the stats from, the game yesterday, man. We just got tore up from the 3-point line. They hit 8 more than we did times 3. That's 24 more points. You know what I mean? And then we got to stop getting out the slow starts. We've been turning the ball over. We're averaging 6 turnovers in the first quarter last 3 games. 6 turnovers. Trae got to stop getting out to a bad start as well. And he needs to start trusting his teammates because they can shoot. The second thing is I'm locating 3-point shooters, man. Miami does not have a single person on their team that's going to kill you one-on-one every time down the court like we do. Jimmy Butler probably get inside. Jimmy Butler got inside and scored majority of his points on that sorry pump fake that Hunter and Collins continue to jump for every time. He's 31 years old. He's not going to beat you to the point of impact every single time, man. You know what I mean? So you can contain him. Lowry, Lowry's 35, 36. His prime is past. He out there to control the offense, play good defense, and make his 3-pointers. I'm locating all 3-point shooters, man. I'm locating the 3-point shooters, and I'm not giving up corner threes. They shoot the best corner 3-point in the NBA. PJ Tucker made 3 in a row in the third quarter. Like, how do you let the same play go by 3 times in a row? That's Nate. That's on Nate. That's on players. Just don't care. But, that's that. On offense, I'm overloading one side. If they're going to play a quasi 1-2-2 zone, because they did play like a man 1-2-2 zone on us, I'm overloading one side. And I'm going to force them to have to shift that zone and move around, and I'm going to move the ball around, man, and attack the paint. We got to attack the paint. Be aggressive. We had 27 free throws. Miami had 18. 27 free throws. That lets me know we're getting the paint. We're being aggressive. Guard the 3-point line. Get in the paint. Play defense. Put out, give some energy. Go home 1-1, and then we already know how we're going to turn up in Atlanta. We're 23 over the last 23 games.
Damon, we need him. We need him coaching.
Hey man, all you gotta do.
That's one heck of a breakdown, man.
Hey, all you gotta do is come to the New Pack City in-game chat, man. Juan be mad as hell, man. Hey,
I see
Juan got something to say after every possession, bro.
Juan, I'm the same way.
Juan be in that game chat every possession. He got a post. Man. Bro, what are they doing? Wow. What are we doing? I'll be like, God dang, Juan. Hey, listen. And then I'm going to go to you, Al. If you read Juan's game post, the thread, when you read his post and don't look at the game, bro, we could be up 50 and you would think we're losing, bro. Juan, we be up 50. Juan be like, hey, man, get out the 3-point shooter, man.
I'm with you, Juan.
Let me go to Al. Al, what do we need to do, man, to get a dub in game 2, bro? What we need to do, man? Offense and defensive side of the ball.
Look, number 1, get some rest. You gotta get some rest. Don't hit the club. Don't hit up Privé. Don't hit up nothing. Don't go get no lemon pepper wings. No ceviche. No boat rides. None of that. We don't need none of that. Cause we about to be on the boat in a minute. So look, number 2, change the culture. Like everything that y'all been talking about, it really stands a little bit in our culture. Like coming out flat.
Yeah.
Atlanta culture. You know what I'm saying? Turning over the ball. It's like certain things we got to start changing the culture, and that's really what we need in if we gonna change coaches. A coach that can bring a culture here that's a winning culture that has the mentality like one like dude, get the shooters, bro. Like why are we sitting out here being lazy? You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? A lot of the stuff that's our problem, that was in the problem in game one. I think they came with the head like, okay, we beat Cleveland, we can come mediocre game one. Nope.
Yep.
Miami been rested. They ready for y'all. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And they ready to get to Milwaukee, or they ready to get on to the 76ers. They ain't,
Yeah.
they're not thinking about it like that. So that's another thing. One thing I think we forgetting about Bam is Bam did win the skills challenge. So we really need to watch Bam as far as not like attacking him so much, but like watching his movement. Because if we attack him and there's two other shooters open, he
He's a
passing it
great
out.
passer. He's a great passer.
He passing it out, and that's smart. You know what I'm saying? So those dudes in Miami, they play smart. We got to play smart.
I
That's
feel
it.
you.
That's it for me.
And
And hey, Damon, who he raised a good point, and I'll be real quick because I know you got to
go
wrap the
ahead.
show up.
Go ahead, bro. You got time.
What
Go
what
ahead.
who y'all which one would you rather kill you? Like as far as like what player would you say if I had to pick one, where y'all gonna beat me? Like I'm gonna pick Tucker. I'm gonna pick what's
I'm
the
picking.
center name?
I'm picking
I'm picking
Bam.
Bam.
I'm
Bam.
picking
Bam.
Bam.
Yeah,
Picking Bam.
yeah.
He's gonna
Because
shoot
their
the
Because
ball.
perimeter
Not for the
shooters,
threes.
their perimeter
Yeah.
shooters scare me, man.
but see, if you
Yeah,
go
bro.
back, man,
Two
if you
over
go
three
back,
any day.
I've been on. If you go back, man, when I first started doing this channel, and I used to do a pregame, bruh, that's not my number one thing in my pregames. It's always limit the 3-point shooting.
Every
If
game.
you
Yep. Same.
limit, if you go back on We Talk Hawks, look at the pregames I got. It's not that many. That's the first thing I point out because that's today's NBA is shooting a
Mm-hmm.
three. You
Yep.
got to guard the three. And my motto was, if you can limit a team to around, if you can hold a team around 30 to 30, about 30 to 34%, you
Mm-hmm.
have a decent chance of winning the game. Obviously, if you get them below the 30, you should win the game in today's
Yep.
NBA. And I've always said this: we're a jump shooting team.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? When the shot's not falling, we have to step it up on the defensive side of the ball. And we didn't do that yesterday. I seen Miami miss their first couple shots. I'm so over here thinking we need points on the board, bro, because sooner or later they gonna get, they gonna get a little warm, get a little hot. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and that's one thing we didn't take advantage of. I thought the team, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. Third quarter, I think they gave up, bro.
They
I
did.
think I think they gave up, and that's one thing I hate. At least this is what I expect from my team. In that fourth quarter, we should have a chance to win the game. Whether we win or lose is whatever. But you can't roll over and play dead in the third quarter of a playoff game. I don't care what the reason is. You could say legs, whatever. Where is that inner drive at to be a champion? You see what I'm saying? Where's that drive towards somebody got to be on that team? And that's why I hate that we don't have Solo. We don't have Dwayne Dedman. We don't have a real veteran in that locker room to say that. Guys, what are we doing out there? We out here looking like straight boo-boo. What are we
Man,
doing?
look at what Pat Beverly is doing for Milwaukee.
Exactly, bro.
Man,
I mean
Bro,
Minnesota.
go into New
Minnesota.
Pack City, bro. People wanted
Great
Pat Bev
point.
so bad,
Great point.
but you know what? A lot of casual fans do. Well, he only averaged 2.6 points, bro. That's not what we want him for. That's why I was mad when we traded Solo. Solo was our guy. How do you know that? All you got to do is go back to that Knicks series.
The Knicks series,
When Buddy bumped Trae,
oh yeah,
no one else on the team was gonna say something. Solo came off the bench,
Old man Solomon,
and pushed the dude like, "Hey, bro, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We missing that right now, And if you follow Solo on social media, he was talking about coming to one of the games, Why? If I'm the coach or the GM, you know what I'm doing, bro? Solo tickets on
Bring
us,
him
bro.
back.
Come to the game.
Right, bro.
Yeah.
Front row.
Guess what?
Front
Pre-game
row.
before the game start, he in the locker room. You know what? Halftime,
They bring
he in the locker
Quavo.
room. Yeah, you got Quavo out that motherfucker.
Hey,
You
Quavo
got
can help
all
pick
the
from the
cele-
75 draft, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I was, bro. That's why I was upset when we traded Solo, hurt or not, man. I'm like, bro, this dude brings locker room presence, you know. But we've always had an issue with that since Travis been in here because he did that with Dwayne Dedman. He let Dedman lead, and Trae Young turned around and said that was our veteran in the locker room, not Vince Carter. It was Dwayne Dedman. That's why Travis. Yeah, that's why Travis went back and traded for Dwayne Dedman to come back to Atlanta, which I was like, bro, you should just sign him, dummy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Instead
What
of having
about
to give up
What about Snelling? What about Snelling too?
Snell.
Oh, Snell, yeah.
Is he old enough to
Tony.
be?
Tony Snell?
He was the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah, he just went out there and played another 20 minutes and had zeros across the board again.
Just about to say, what was his score?
Like
But y'all can't take away. Hey, you can't take away this. Hey,
bro, how do you keep doing that and making millions of dollars, bro? He just run up and down the court, bro.
Keeping that 100%. Keeping that
have his
percentage.
favorite song.
Keeping that 100%.
But Snell, you can't take away. Sneller came in when we didn't have no wing, man. We needed a wing to step up. And he stepped up last year.
Snell got hot. Snell got hot for us at the end of last season, bro. In the playoffs, what d'd he do?
We didn't need him in the playoffs.
Hey,
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
Let me ask y'all a question. What do y'all think about Rondo's veteranship? What
terrible, bro.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Okay.
Terrible.
Yeah, he just won his million. Remember, he came to us because we gave him $15 million.
And then jack that up when his girlfriend was beefing with old girl in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Like
he was supposed to bring way more than he brought, though.
You know what I would like?
Especially when you look at him on the Cavs.
I would like Travis, if I'm Travis, and this is where, you know, and I know it's hard to do, but this is sometimes when you try to find somebody who like actually was a fan of the team. Because if I'm the GM or the coach, you know how I'm gonna have out there, bro? I'm going and I'm getting Kevin Willis in here. Let's bring back some of the hot good players to tell these dudes, bro, we depended on y'all. We couldn't get the job done, but guess what? We here to assist y'all in any way possible. Why isn't Kevin Willis out here working with Clint Capella? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why isn't we got play? Why isn't Mookie Blaylock in here working with Trae Young on the defensive side of the ball? Mookie Black are all NBA defensive player that plays.
He ain't gonna do that.
Are those players still really tied to the team?
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
But that's what I'm saying. That's where the organization has to reach out to those guys and let them know, hey, we value your service here. We could use your experience here. You know, if you look at if you look at the Knicks, right? They always got former Knicks at the games.
All the time.
And they always get thrown
until
out.
Dolan kick him out. but they always
get thrown out.
They always got former Knicks there. You always see people talk about when they was. Yeah, you always see players talk about when I was for the Lakers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just
man.
And let me show
but
you.
But that culture, that's what I'm saying. That culture.
I agree.
That culture here?
I agree. I agree with you on that, man. Let me tell you how bad it is here, man. I watched that damn podcast with Rashard Lewis, bro, and he was supposed to come to Atlanta, bro.
Yeah.
He was supposed to come to Atlanta, but Buddy called him and said, man, don't you want to win a championship?
Ray Allen called him.
Yeah, Ray Allen called him and said, don't you want to win a championship?
Don't go to Atlanta.
Come down here to Miami. Bro, Rashard Lewis
and they won.
Rashard Lewis didn't even make the visit with the Hawks. He cut that shit so fast and went straight to Miami.
He didn't even have a layover. He didn't have a layover at Hartfield.
That just shows you how players think about the Atlanta Hawks.
Let me just go. I don't even want to.
I got one more question for y'all. I got one more question, then we'll go ahead and end it, fellas. I thank y'all for y'all time tonight.
We thank you, man.
Question.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Question. Let's
Appreciate
try to keep it because y'all know I'll be running short on time. Let's keep our response about 30 seconds. Question. If we go down, I'll start with you, GM. If we go down 0-2 to Miami, is the series over?
If we go down what?
0-2.
0-2? It depends. It depends on how we go down. If it's the same results as yesterday, yeah. It's 0-4. 4-0.
What you got? What you got on that, Juan? If we go down 0-2, is it over?
I think I'm going to agree with Virtual GM. It depends on how we go down. We go down fighting, and it's a 1-2. They went by 1-2. Then no, because I know we're strong at home. But I ain't even thinking that way. We winning tomorrow. That's just my mindset, and I know they mindset the same way. We winning tomorrow, bro. We gonna be seeing clapping it up tomorrow.
I can't wait to read the in-game chat, bro. Juan, y'all got to read Juan.
I don't feel as confident as one.
Y'all be careful with that. Matt, we go down 0-2, man. Is it over or no?
I want to say no because I want to have faith that McMillan would come up with some type of strategy or adjustment.
Hold on, let me change the question. Let me change it real quick. I'm gonna make it real simple for y'all. If we go down 0-2, Matt, would you bet $100 that we will that the series is not over? Would you bet $100? See, hey, because let me tell you something. We all have faith in the team when we ain't got no money on the line.
Well, what, man?
0-2.
Soon as that 100 came to play, all of us was like, man, nah, bro.
No, see, the thing that's holding me back is Nate. If we had, a strategist, I would say,
we ain't got him, dog. Hey, $100. We down 0-2. Would you put $100?
I believe Trae give us one.
To win the series?
Yeah.
Would you bet $100 that we'll come back and win the series down 0-2?
I'm sticking with my guns. I'm going with it, man, because I just think we got the horses, man.
I think we do too. It really depends on, I think, Capella's health, and then I think to me, not how the game go tomorrow, how Collins plays. If Collins plays like I'm not worried about Trae, but if Collins can get back to how he was playing pre-injury, then I would say that because I think we have the best player in the series. So I think that's what I'm banking on.
Okay. Hey, Al 3, are you betting? If we go down 0-2, are you betting $100 that we can come back and win the series?
Bruh, tomorrow? Is the bet going on tomorrow? Like, bruh. Man, listen, dog. I'm with them on is how we go down. But if this is my last $100, and I'm about to bet on the Hawks, like if they gonna come back 0-2,
hey, don't let your emotions take that money out your pocket, my guy.
Clint,
baby, that's
will
your
have
last
to come
100.
back fully healthy. I'm talking about last year, Clint, not this year.
Get a strong 10.
Strong 10.
That's your last 100. That's your last 100. You taking food out them kids' mouth, baby.
Nope. Cause that dope money might not always be sufficient.
Oh man, hey man, I want to thank. We're gonna go ahead and end it, fellas. Thank y'all for tapping in with your boy, man. I appreciate every last one of y'all, man. Shout out to the regulars, GM, Juan, Matt. Shout out to that Al 3 coming up in here for the first time. You know what I'm saying?
Man, shout out to y'all, man. The best Hawk show on the net, man.
This is a channel by the fans for the fans. So, like I say, guys, all I do, I just drop the link. If you want to come in, voice your opinion, just follow the link. Come on in, man. Voice your opinion. You know what I'm saying? We want to hear from all Hawks fans because it ain't that many of us running around here. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Demond, one thing.
I see you representing.
One thing.
Yes,
Score predictions. Score prediction.
Okay. Well, since you brought it up, let's start off with you then.
I got this me, man. I got a Hawks 107, Miami 102.
Ooh, okay, GM, talk to me.
I'm thinking it's gonna be low.
My Atlanta fans, my boys gonna hate me. Y'all not gonna like me today, but based on what I saw yesterday, I know they're gonna come up with some fight because I know that's the character, but you just can't turn it on like that. And that staff in Miami is some serious, man. But The score, Miami 103, Atlanta 97. That's why we're not going to probably win because we're not going to give it 100. So.
Okay. What you got on that, Matt?
I was with you, Juan, but when I went back and looked at the game, I'm like, we got to speed them up to win. So I'm gonna go 112 to 105.
Okay.
Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta won.
Okay. All right. Who you got there, Al?
Okay. If they rest up, I got the Hawks 102 to 99.
That's pretty. Yeah, that's real.
And but if they go to the club, I think it's gonna be the Hawks 92 to maybe 90, 80, 88.
Man, every time somebody say something about the club with Atlanta teams, I just think of old buddy from the Falcon. Who was that? Was that Ray Buchanan? Was that the strip club?
It must be true though. It must be true.
Eugene Robinson, that's who it was.
Right.
Yeah, Eugene Robinson, yeah, Super Bowl.
For the Super Bowl.
Look, next time I'm gonna wear my shirt that got a drawing of lemon pepper Lou in the club with some lemon pepper wings. That's how bad it is.
I'm gonna go. I think we're gonna get back on track tomorrow, scoring wise. My only concern is I don't know how can we defend Miami? Can we defend that 3-point line? That's my only concern. You know, their inside game, their inside game is not like a juggernaut or nothing. Bam can be limited. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna, he ain't gonna come out here and hit you with a triple double. He's not the best shot blocker. So I mean we can get in the paint. So I'm gonna go Hawks. This me not betting no money.
Nah,
bro,
you gotta bet that 100. You gotta tell
I'll
us
bet
what
100
you
on
bet
tomorrow's game.
I'm broke, bro.
Really?
I'm broke. I can't bet if
I didn't know that was an option. My bad.
Nah, I'm broke, man. I got pay bills. Hawks ain't paying no bills for me.
I feel you, dog. I was cringing on that 100 over here myself.
I'm gonna go Hawks. I'm gonna go 113, 109 Hawks. I think we're gonna find our offense back tomorrow, man. Trae Young not shooting that. He ain't going no 1 for 12, 0 for 7 ever again. That was a fluke.
Yep, they know it.
Yeah, and it wasn't their defense neither. I mean, he had some good looks. He just missed it. Which was a majority of our shots, especially in that first quarter. We had plenty of good looks. Shots just won't going in. I mean, it was the same thing for Miami early.
That's what Butler said.
Yeah. So, I think we're gonna pull it out tomorrow, man. So, once again, salute to the chat, salute to everybody who stopped in today, man. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all support, man. And we're gonna be back here tomorrow, post game live. Hopefully, we're in some high spirits.
We will be.
Hope if these cats lose tomorrow, somebody might have. If we lose tomorrow, somebody might have to text me to come on because I'll be mad as shit, bro. I don't be wanting to come on this talk this. I'll be mad, bro.
What if it's a game like Brooklyn?
I need to go in the garage first before I come up here. Juan know what I mean when I say the garage. So I need to go garage first before I come up here after losses, bro. Shit. But I appreciate y'all, man. We're gonna end it here. Tap in with us tomorrow, man. Post game live, 10 to 15 minutes right after the game is ended. We're gonna be here. This is a fan channel by the fans for the fans. Y'all tap in. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Chat for y'all roll out.